All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Earlier this morning, when we were talking to Galen Unold from Life South Blood Centers, we were talking about what you can do to have healthier blood. And I want to tell you just some of the things because they actually apply to our next conversation. It said exercise. It said eat more legumes. It said eat more vegetables, eat more fruits, drink more whole juices, drink lots of water, quit smoking. The list was, you've heard these things before. And the other day when we had that hurricane come through, a lady we know whose father owns a grocery store over in Crystal River, which, as you know, was flooded. She said her father's grocery store lost $40,000 worth of food.
Yeah.
That was all ruined from the flood, and it was all the perimeter of the store. And as you know, that's where all the good stuff is.
Yes.
Right. That's where all the healthy stuff is. That's where the lettuce and the broccoli and all that stuff is. Right.
Save the cookies.
Yeah, the cookies in the middle. They got saved. Yeah. Dr. Alona Polday is on the phone. I believe she's been with us before. I could be wrong, but I certainly remember the title Forks Over Knives. And we have another Forks Over Knives book to talk about. There was a documentary, right?
Yes.
Am I right about that? Okay. So maybe that's what it was that they came on to talk to us about. The book makes you think. The book makes you realize that eating healthy doesn't mean eating bland. That's my favorite part about this. Dr. Polday is a family practitioner and a New York Times best-selling author. Good morning, Doctor.
Oh, good morning.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Well, thank you for getting up early, 11, 10, 9, 8. It's only 8 o'clock there. So do you have...
Pleasure.
What does your breakfast look like?
So usually it's a big bowl of oatmeal with some fruit. On Sundays it's pancakes because the girls love pancakes.
Oh, see? I can handle this.
Yeah.
Do you put milk in your oatmeal?
I don't, but my daughter does. She
Okay.
puts soy milk in her oatmeal.
Okay. So what was the original idea, Forks Over Knives? What was the idea there?
Yeah, the idea behind Forks Over Knives is that, whenever possible, that we use our forks, meaning the foods that we eat, to keep us healthy and nourished and away from the medical system and from the knives and scalpels of the medical system.
Oh, okay, those knives. Okay, I was thinking we shouldn't eat anything that we have to cut. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so it's okay to cut things.
Absolutely. Use your knife on your plate, not in an operating room.
Now, do we use do we include meat in our diets or no?
Yeah, so, what we found in looking at the standard American diet is that as Americans, we don't need help adding animal products to our diet. We do a really good job of doing that already. Where we're deficient is in adding plant foods, in adding fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. And so it's not really about telling people what not to eat as far as you should not eat meat, but it is an effort to reconfigure your plate to include more of nature's multivitamins.
And that makes sense. Well, and you say nature's multivitamins, that leads to the next question. What do you think about the supplements? Are they okay?
Yeah, I think when you eat a whole food plant-based diet, I like to get, I treat supplements like medication. They're not benign, they have side effects, and some have been proven to be very harmful. So you don't want to take them just as an insurance policy because they may not provide that for you. So I like to use supplements only when people are truly deficient, and what I like to do is go to the food first. So use your food first. If you are 100% plant-based, B12 is a supplement you will need to take. But other than that, seek it from your foods first.
Tell me about. We had this conversation, not this conversation, but we had a conversation this morning with a representative from the local blood bank,
Galen.
And Galen, thank you. And we were talking about how we our lifestyles. I guess that's the best way to sum it up. What we eat, how much we exercise, affects the health of our blood. And if we have healthy blood, then we have kind of healthy everything, don't we?
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people treat their cars better than they treat their bodies, right? When we think of our car, we have to have tune-ups, we have to put gas in the car, we have to change our oil. We got to do the same for our bodies.
So if you had somebody, okay, so let's say I came in with my car to a mechanic and he looked in my engine and he said, "Oh my gosh, you don't take care of this at all." And then he ran it through the test, and I came back a week later, and everything was fixed. And he said, "Now take care of it." We can't do that with our bodies. You can't just put your body in the shop and come back a week later and get it out. So how long would it take to reverse all of the bad things? If let's say I'm the worst example you've ever seen. If I started doing things right today, would I feel results right away? Would I be cleaned or whatever in a week or a month or a year? How long does it take?
What's interesting is we've taken patients through 10-day immersions, and in those 10 days, people start to feel better. They start to feel lighter. They start to have more energy. They start to see weight loss, drops in cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure. It's a pretty dramatic change pretty quickly.
There have been a few people that have been walking past the window because where we broadcast from, we're in the local mall, and this is right by the food court. And we noticed that some people have walked every day for the past 2 years, and this must be part of their regimen because you can noticeably see the weight loss that they're going to. So just because they're walking, they must also have adapted a better way of eating.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people, it's a healthy consciousness. It's a comprehensive approach, and exercise is a vital part of a healthier lifestyle.
Okay, so let's talk about the book. The book is called Forks Over Knives Family, and it says here more than 125 kid-friendly recipes. So that's the part we want to focus on, it sounds like. Do you have recipes that the children make themselves, or just that children would like?
That children would like and that they help to make.
All right.
That one of the things that we really wanted was to get family favorites and familiars and very kid-friendly food, not only in recognizing it and eating it, but in helping to prepare it.
When people have children, the adults are their policemen until they're about 12 or so, when they start spending nights out with their friends and things like that. So you have to give them some kind of leeway, like if they want to go out for a cheeseburger. Is that right, or do you try to discourage that?
Yeah, I stay away from discouraging and try and encourage. And what I try and encourage is as much of the healthy foods as possible. And what I trust is that if I can get my kids to eat 90%, 95% really healthy food, the other 5 to 10% isn't going to make a big difference.
Okay, so one of the pages I opened up to is the chocolate chip coconut pancakes.
Ooh.
They look really good.
Okay.
Here's what I think I would make a mistake with. I would put, what's that called? It's not maple syrup, but when you go to the store, and I want you to comment on this if you could. We had a report not too long ago that real maple syrup that's really truly made from the maple of a tree is healthy. And you might disagree. I'm just telling you what we had on the news. And if you go to the grocery store and you look at most maple syrups, it's, what do they call it again? Corn? What do you call it, Robin?
The high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, that's what their main thing is. So if I were to get these delicious, healthy pancakes, I might ruin it by putting the wrong kind of syrup on. Or what is your comment on that? Are all syrups bad? Or are any of them bad?
Right. You want to try and stay as whole plant-based as you can, and you gave a really great example. A more whole plant-based or a more whole maple syrup versus a higher processed one that has the high fructose corn syrup will be better on the continuum. If you're having a little bit of pancake with your maple syrup, probably better to have a little bit of maple syrup with your pancake.
I got you.
And so
sometimes money is an issue to eat healthy. So would it be okay if you ate 2 or 3 days a week unhealthy, like only what your budget could afford, and then the other days you could follow this kind of regimentation?
I think it's a common myth that plant-based diet is expensive or has to be expensive. It's very important for us, as family and being aware of budgets, to be budget friendly. In fact, the Forks Over Knives chef who contributed the recipes to this book did a $5 a day challenge where she challenged herself to eat whole plant-based foods on $5 a day. And she was able to not only feed herself, but to feed her boyfriend and occasionally some friends as well. And what we find is, that a lot of the plant foods, what people find once they start getting into this is that a bag of rice is really cheap. A bag of potatoes is really cheap. A bag of oats is really cheap. And then you supplement that with your fruits and vegetables. And it comes out to be less expensive than a very high meat, high dairy diet.
And there are enough nutrients in these kind of foods where your body's not lacking anything?
Correct. Unequivocally, your healthiest foods are your fruits and vegetables. They're going to have your macronutrients and, your proteins, carbohydrates and fats, and your micronutrients, all your vitamins, your minerals, your phytonutrients, your antioxidants, and they come in this amazing package of health. So, yes, absolutely.
Gosh.
Dr. Ilona Poldi is our guest, and she is out in California. And yesterday you were in one of my favorite places, Santa Monica. I saw it on the list. At a bookstore. Forks Over Knives Families, the book. We will be continuing our discussion with Dr. Poldi on the other side of the break. We'll take the break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny on this Thursday with a thunderstorm around from late morning on, the high 88 to 92. And clear to partly cloudy Thursday night. There may be a shower or thunderstorm late tonight along the coast. The low 68 inland, 76 at the coast. For Friday and Saturday, sunshine and some clouds with a thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours of each day. The high both days between 88 and 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has a CD special, 25 months for 1.41% APY with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA, a government agency. These rates effective through September 15th. Subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website, flcu.org, or call 352-237-8222. Don't miss this 25-month CD special. Again, the APY is 1.41%. Act now.
Hey, produce farmers, listen up. You know me. It's Nathan the Nematode, and I'm your biggest problem. That's because me and millions of my little friends are below ground right now, getting ready to feast on the roots of your crops. And we know you're having a hard time stopping us. So while you're searching for solutions, we're gorging on the season's harvest and
At approximately 4:25 p.m. today, Nathan the Nematode and millions of fellow nematodes were pronounced dead thanks to Magistine, a powerful yet worker-friendly bionematicide. Apply Magistine pre-plant or every 3 to 4 weeks right up to harvest to improve your crop. Magistine controls yield-robbing nematodes and soil pests to deliver stronger, healthier roots and robust yields. The effective, worker-friendly, and sustainable Magistine just might be a lifeline for your crops. Goodbye, nematodes. Hello, Magistine. Get yours today. Visit goodbyenematodes.com or call your local supplier. That's goodbyenematodes.com.
All right, thank you. 19 minutes after 11 o'clock, Dr. Ilona Poldi is on the phone, and the book we're talking about is Forks Over Knives Family, and I must say that Dr. Poldi's co-author is Matthew Lederman, who is not on the phone right now. Doctor, I wanted to tell you something. I mentioned already this morning we were talking about this how to eat healthier thing, and one of the things was to have a more alkaline diet. And to have a more alkaline diet, it says to eat avocados, fresh coconut, lemons, limes, grapefruit, alkaline legumes, lentils, navy beans, soy, alkaline nuts. It goes on and on and on. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, sprouts. The one part of this that I wanted to ask you about is lemons, limes, grapefruits. I always thought they had citric acid in them, and they want you to eat a more alkaline diet. How does that work? That things that are considered acidic actually help increase your alkalinity, if that's the way you say that.
Right. It's all again a continuum, and compared to what. So plant foods are very high alkaline foods. Animal foods are very high acidic foods, and within the plant-based food groups, you have foods that are more acidic, like your citrus fruits. But compared in the big scheme, in the big picture, they still maintain an overall alkalinity.
Oh wow! See, I would have never guessed that. And so in Forks Over Knives family, do we have things that might be considered desserts or like treats?
Oh, absolutely. Desserts are essential for long-term lifestyle change.
Well, and especially since this is aimed at kid-friendly recipes, I was thinking that's got to be in here somewhere, right?
Yes, and there are popsicles and cakes and cookies and muffins and chocolate chip pancakes. And the nice thing is that when you create them with healthy ingredients, you don't feel guilty about giving them to your kids.
Are you still going to be able to eat healthy if you don't buy organic produce?
Correct. So, studies have been done on that exact topic, and what they show is that the benefit of eating vegetables, even conventional vegetables, so far outweighs choosing organic and thereby not being able to eat vegetables. So the idea is to get your vegetables in. Where you can choose organic, great. Where you can't, eat your vegetables, because that's so much healthier than the alternative of not eating them.
We have a listener calling in. Let me take that call. Good morning. Thank you for waiting. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. Macaroni and cheese is probably one of the most popular foods with children, and kind of incomplete nutritionally. I've always added vegetables and either tuna or salmon to it to make it a full nutrition, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Doctor, what do you think about his approach? So mac and cheese, kids are going to like mac and cheese. Are they going to like it if you add tuna to it or salmon or something?
We have, they might. They might enjoy it without it as well. And there are so many recipes to make mac and quote-unquote cheese using a nut-based cheese or nutritional yeast, which my girls love. We sneak some spinach in there on occasion, so it comes out to be this green, incredible Hulk kind of mac and cheese that they love.
Wow.
So it gets fun and creative. And nutritious and delicious.
How about the nutrients between canned vegetables and frozen vegetables?
Again, the benefit of getting in those vegetables, frozen vegetables are fantastic. We use them a lot in our cooking. They're very convenient. They don't spoil as easily. And the idea is to get those vegetables in. And if canned or frozen are the choices that you have, better to have those than not to have them at all.
You might have heard, I don't hear anything here.
I don't know.
Something wrong here? You might have heard us, is that on?
I can hear me.
You can hear you.
I can see the lights. Well, in this course of writing your book and everything, did you ask your children for any kind of input, like what is their most favorite kind of food?
Oh, for sure. I often don't have to ask. They're two very opinionated little girls. But yeah, and Darshana spent a lot of time thinking about what kids would eat and asking kids, what they would like and what they would like to see, and testing out the recipes on children. So, absolutely.
Did you and Dr. Matthew butt heads sometimes as to what should be in there and what should not?
This was one of the most fun projects that we've worked on, because as parents, we're really congruent on our path, and so it was really fun and an easy write.
The website that I have is forksoverknives.com. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay, let me type that in. I want to look at it. In the meantime, let me go to a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. I recently read where I always thought that fresh vegetables was the first choice and frozen and canned in line, but now I've been understanding that they think that frozen and canned vegetables are actually fresher because right after they're picked, they're frozen and canned. Where a fresh vegetable, it gets put on a truck, sits on a truck, and then it's transported. Then it gets in a grocery store for a couple of days, and it loses its value. Is there any truth to that?
Good question.
Doctor?
Did I take that?
Yeah, we want you to. Yeah, we don't want to try to take that.
There are a lot of theories. There are theories in the reverse that, freezing or canning or cooking can decrease the nutrient value. And again, it's really, you get vegetables wherever you can and wherever you like them best. Some people prefer to have frozen vegetables for the convenience. Or canned vegetables for the convenience. Some people prefer to have fresh for the taste. So the idea is rather than get into the minutia of what might be slightly healthier, is to really get on the bandwagon of fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes are healthy, and you want to get them at however you can and as much of it as you can.
Did you or Dr. Lederman have anything in your personal lives that was turned around when you started eating healthy, or have you from childhood always been a healthy eater?
Not at all. Matt would laugh right now because he was a Carl's Jr., connoisseur before starting this. But he had a lot of significant stomach issues that cleared up pretty rapidly and long term after changing over to a plant-based diet.
Yeah, we hear
and
so
for
much.
me as well.
What is the thing we hear so much about now?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, that
Right.
too.
Oh.
No, what is that thing? Gluten. We hear so much about
Yes.
gluten. So,
Right, and gluten-free.
So are these recipes? They look like they're pretty much gluten free. I don't see anything in here that's got bread in it.
Mm-hmm.
They can be gluten free. Some of them have whole wheat, like whole wheat pasta.
Okay. Yeah.
But those can be easily substituted to gluten free. The thing is, though, that you really don't have to worry about being gluten free unless you are shown to have celiac disease or a true gluten sensitivity, and that's a pretty small percentage of the population. And the majority of the population does really well with gluten, and it's not an issue in their diet.
I just realized that on your website we can watch the documentary Forks Over Knives.
You can, and you can also get it free on Netflix for anybody who has Netflix.
Oh, my goodness. So we want to recommend that, A, you go to the website, forksoverknives.com, and B, you pick up a copy of the book. And guess what? I do have a copy of the book, so I'd like to give it away right now.
It's wonderful.
So if I have a listener who would like the one that was sent to us, you are welcome to it. Robin and I will have to buy our own. And so the number to call, just 622-9622. I'll give it to you. Dr. Pulley, do you want to give out, let's say we give out the website, forksoverknives.com. Any other information that would help the listener get more information or buy the book?
That's a great site. The books are available at Barnes & Noble and also on Amazon.
And what do you think about foods coming in from other countries into the United States? Should we just stick with buying U.S. produce first and those countries' foods last? Or do they have the same kind of registration technique that we have here in the United States for purities?
Yeah, that's a hard one, right? Because I'm not sure. I know that where you can, it's really nice to support local farmers and local goods. But again, I think foods coming from other places, that's what makes it beautiful and abundant for us to have, fresh fruits and vegetables all year long. And so I think that's a blessing as well.
It just makes sense. It sounds healthy, doesn't it? It sounds like what we were probably meant to do. Doctor, thank you for setting us on the right track so that we can be healthier, and thank you for writing the books that you've written, and thank you for being on the air with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was great.
All right, we will be right back.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Hillary Clinton lashing out at Donald Trump for his comments about our military.
He trash-talked American generals, saying they've been, quote, reduced to rubble.
Speaking from the tarmac of a Westchester, New York airport, adding,
He attacked dozens of former flag officers by saying that, quote, we've been losing for us for a long time.
She's spending time in North Carolina today. He's in Ohio the day after their appearances at an NBC National Security Forum where Trump suggested
there would be a shakeup if he's elected.
Well, there'd probably be different generals, to be honest with you.
Clinton held firm in her stance that we should not send ground troops to Iraq or Syria.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. And Ford expanding a recall for doors that can pop open while vehicles are in motion, now adding 1.5 million cars, SUVs, and vans. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Psst, hey, it's me, your car. No, it's not the voice of your car phone or your GPS that gives you driving directions. I'm sorry to interrupt your tunes, but we need to talk. Take a look around. I'm not the new car I used to be. The season's dirt and mud really did a number on my carpet here. And that iced coffee you spilled, that didn't help. And with the rain showers and all, I know it's going to be a real mud bath in here. So do me a favor and get a set of WeatherTech floor liners. Got it? Now, how about a wash and detail? What do you say?
WeatherTech floor liners and cargo liners keep your vehicle's carpet safe from spills and messes. Made of the highest quality materials and laser measured, WeatherTech floor liners are specifically designed for your vehicle. And they're made in America. If it could talk, your vehicle would thank you. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech. Complete protection, completely American-made.
Council.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. A 10-year-old boy was arrested yesterday in connection with the June homicide of a 2-year-old Ocala girl. Deputies said the boy has been charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child in the death of his cousin, Journey Blyden. Journey was taken to a hospital with severe head trauma on Tuesday, June 21st, and died a few days later. Detectives were told that she had fallen from a playpen, deputies said in a news release. But after further investigation, detectives determined that the 10-year-old boy caused the girl's fatal injuries. A juvenile witness told detectives that the boy physically abused her and Journey when the three were left unsupervised. When the boy was asked about that information from the witness, deputies say the boy told detectives that he was running while holding Journey and fell on the kitchen floor, injuring her. The boy then said he put her on the counter and accidentally pushed her off the countertop. The medical examiner concluded that Journey's injuries were not consistent with the boy's report and ruled the girl's death a homicide, saying her injuries would have taken excessive force. The Marion County Sheriff's Office confirms the 2-year-old victim's father is Kendall Blyden. Blyden is going on trial this week for the murder of another child he was caring for in 2014. In the case of that 1-year-old's death, the report indicates that Blyden originally said the child fell out of a crib. Kendall Blyden's murder trial is slated to begin today. As for the 10-year-old who has been charged with manslaughter, he is in the juvenile detention center in Marion County. Polk County deputies are taking care of nearly 200 farm animals, including more than 100 pigs they say had been living in deplorable conditions at a rescue ranch in Central Florida. Media organizations report a judge on Tuesday awarded the Polk County Sheriff's Office custody of the 178 farm animals, including the pigs, 40 chickens, and a horse. Deputies arrested the owners of Darlin's Darlins, a ranch that's advertised as a no-kill animal sanctuary, on August 9th after getting a tip about possible animal cruelty from People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Authorities are working with PETA and the Pig Advocates League to help place the pigs in new homes. In the meantime, officials say the pigs are being kept well fed at the Sheriff's Office stockade in Bartow. Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Greens, tree huggers, and free market capitalists have found something on which they can all agree. It's called Amendment 1, and they don't like it. Republicans, Democrats, Greens, and Libertarians are teaming up to oppose Amendment 1 on the November ballot. Char Les Brandon, who chairs the Libertarian Party of Florida, says the Smart Solar Amendment is a scam by the big power companies. He said, quote, "We, as a party, have voted unanimously to oppose this addition to the Florida Constitution," going on to say, "We think it's a fraud, and we think it definitely does not help Floridians, but hurts them," unquote. The amendment is called Smart Solar, but Ash Mason with the Christian Coalition says there's nothing smart about it. The Florida Christian Coalition opposes Amendment 1 because these ill-advised regulations would hurt Florida families by eliminating the future expansion of energy independence in the Sunshine State. Amendment 1 was financed by the Big Four investor-owned utilities to the tune of roughly $20 million. The amendment is also opposed by the League of Women Voters, the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and the solar power industry. The U.S. Senate once again rejected the Republican-backed Zika funding bill that the U.S. House passed back in June. This is the third time the Senate has voted on and rejected the measure. The House measure needed 60 votes to advance. It only got 46 votes, even though the Senate is controlled by Republicans. There were 52 votes against the House measure, and those votes came from both parties. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny on this Thursday with a thunderstorm around from late morning on, the high 88 to 92. Clear to partly cloudy Thursday night. There may be a shower or thunderstorm late tonight along the coast. The low 68 inland, 76 at the coast. For Friday and Saturday, sunshine and some clouds with a thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours of each day. The high both days between 88 and 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Today in Florida Ag News from a Southeast AgNet, USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida is reminding producers about the sign-up underway for 2017 funding through the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. Here's Al Oliver, NRCS District Conservationist out of the Lake City Service Center.
The sign-up is giving landowners opportunity to address their resources on their land, and the sign-up, the most important thing is getting the landowner an opportunity to get his application in. And that date is October the 21st.
Oliver says there are various programs offered through EQIP and invites landowners to see what's available.
It's just a matter of contacting the office. How you can reach our office is you can go to the internet. You can start with the nrcs.florida.usda.gov, and you can go contact us. You'll find the local directory for the service center that's closer to you.
The EQIP sign-up for 2017 funding in Florida ends October 21st.
Hey, produce farmers, listen up. You know me. It's Nathan the Nematode, and I'm your biggest problem. That's because me and millions of my little friends are below ground right now, getting ready to feast on the roots of your crops. And we know you're having a hard time stopping us. So while you're searching for solutions, we're gorging on the season's harvest and
At approximately 4:25 p.m. today, Nathan the Nematode and millions of fellow nematodes were pronounced dead thanks to Magistine, a powerful yet worker-friendly bionematicide. Apply Magistine pre-plant or every 3 to 4 weeks right up to harvest to improve your crop. Magistine controls yield-robbing nematodes and soil pests to deliver stronger, healthier roots and robust yields. The effective, worker-friendly, and sustainable Magistine just might be a lifeline for your crops. Goodbye nematodes, hello Magistine. Get yours today. Visit goodbyenematodes.com or call your local supplier. That's goodbyenematodes.com.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.